Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, and welcome to the video. We're going to be doing Berlin in this video, and Berlin, man, uh, I don't really have many good things to say about this map. I think it's very boring for a light tank, but I'm going to kind of show you how I feel about this map, certain plays that you can make depending on the situations, and yeah, we're just going to jump right into it. So, Berlin, guys, where do you normally go on Berlin in a light tank? Well, I normally go to the south. A couple of years ago, they changed this map. I don't remember exactly when, but it was around a couple of years ago, and this map used to be very different. This area of the map used to be easier to progressively scout, in my opinion. It was similar to how it is now. They didn't completely overhaul it, but there was kind of a big difference in this area, and that's that this entire area of the map didn't really exist. The map was still the same size, but over here you had more terrain differences, right? It went back uphill and downhill, and you had these giant bushes over here and over here on the edge of the map, and it was just much easier to spot it, in my opinion. You had different areas you can go. There wasn't just two random bushes sitting in the middle of nowhere. There was a couple areas you could go to spot. And even though this area and this area both still existed, they changed them up also a bit. And the map is just different. In my opinion, it's much harder to scout on this map than back then because this was an open field and now it's a brawling stage over here, basically, for hold down mediums and hold down tank destroyers and whatever, right? So now on this map, basically, you have a couple of options. I mean, you can try and take this area of the map, this bunker. Some people think that this is a really good play. I disagree entirely. I think this is an awful play. I do not like coming here. However, there are certain situations where this place will pay off. But usually what happens is you're in the middle of the open here, and though you do kind of have the protection of the bunker, you can get shot from here, from here, from here, and you don't realize where you're safe. And sure enough, after two shots from tank destroyers or whatever, you end up losing like all your HP, and you're just sitting in the middle of the open. You're a big target over here. So everyone thinks they're going into the bunker. Yeah, this is a good play because I have shots going everywhere, but realistically, people have more shots on you than you think. You're not as safe here as you think you are. So LT-432 is going to push into the Borisk here. I would kind of expect the LT-432 to win this fight, but this guy gets a shot into him, and I'm thinking maybe I should help this guy. But the thing is, again, I don't like taking the bunker, and it depends on what the LT-432 is going to do. So I think he comes out this way, and I end up getting one shot into him here, I believe. Or someone else ends up cleaning him up. But at that point, I was just about ready to go after this guy. And now we're taking shots at the WZ-120, and this is a play that you can make. You could make it on the other Berlin as well before they changed this map, but you can sit where the Borisk is and try and take shots however you might get lit. I prefer to try and take them from here, and then you can come down here and get safe. But keep in mind, guys, when you're over on this south side of the map, regardless of which of these bushes you're sitting in, because it's really your only two options, you could also try and come here. But this is it, guys, right? I said you could try and go to the bunker. I'm going to add that you can try and go to these two bushes because I don't think we really continue to talk about the options, or you can try this, or you can even try and poke one of these ridge lines if you're in a hold down light tank like LT-432. Maybe you can get away with it or something like that, but really that's about it. That's your only options. This entire area of the map doesn't really work. I've tried it before, but there's really no areas that you can go to. I mean, you can try and sitting up here maybe to try and spot something over here, but I'm telling you, this is really your only options. And opposite of quite a few maps in the game, this map just does not have a lot of options, in my opinion. I haven't really seen any light tanks make any other good plays that I can think of other than just sitting and waiting in these two bushes, basically, and that's it, guys. But I'd like to re-emphasize, watch for the shots you have over here, because this is something that is very vital to mention. If heavies are going to push in this way, look for the side shots, because you could, depending on what kind of light tank you're in, how much damage per shot and DPM you have, you could change the course of the battle by getting 3, 4, 5, whatever number of shots on the heavies over here, which then could win the north. And in my opinion, north is pretty vital on this map, because then you can push in and you kind of flank the people that are out in the field. and it seems to work out pretty well. However, I'll also say with this map, similar to how I said with Abby, I think this map, it can really depend. I think both sides could win you the game. You know, it's not like on El Halif or something where you have those 9 squares of the map that are you pretty much have like a 90% win rate if you win them, right? I feel like on this map, it really depends, right? It could go either way. I think it's important to win both sides of the map, but there's also ways to defend from both sides of the map, right? But to be honest, I just feel like whichever side wins first is probably going to win the game. But if I had to pick a side to win, I would probably say the north, just because I feel like it's easier to push in from the north. It's harder to push in from the south because it's wide open here. Here you have a lot of buildings. You also have this entire, I don't want to call it like a railing, but it's basically the wall that prevents you from going into the water, and you can use that to your advantage. If you have a hold down tank, you can come like around this way and push. However, there's areas to defend against it too. We'll continue playing here. I'll continue with the replay. But in like G1 and H1, and as well as this kind of area over here, into around H1, H9-ish over here, you can defend the base from the north. Not easily, but I'll say it's a play you could make, right? So this game's pretty much coming to a close. I'm going to use my HP now, take a shot from this Kari, or however you say that, and clean up the Udez here, and now we're going to go after the Kari and the Su-130. And not much more to see in this game, guys. I mean, it's just a game that I had on this map so I can talk to you guys about Berlin, but nothing really special happened in this game. One other play I will tell you about that you cannot really make from this side is if you see these 2 trees right here. I've made this play a few times in many tanks. You can actually knock these 2 trees down here and spot people that are coming in from the north. Say you know, you lose this portion of the map, but you win the south, you can actually come here, knock these 2 trees down, and you'll spot heavies that are coming this direction. And it actually paid off for me because I had like a tank destroyer sitting here, and they were able to get the shots going this way. So just a play that I've made in the past that I want you guys to be aware of and know about so that you might be able to use it yourself, these 2 trees right here. We'll go to the free replay camera, guys. We'll talk about this map just a hair more. Like, there's not much more to say about this map, in my opinion. But look at the south side of this map, or I'm sorry, the south side of this map, and just look how open it is. You know, so when you're pushing, keep that in mind. Like, there's a lot of ways for people to have angles on you from here, and in fact, this part of the map over here is like right where the heavies are. They have an angle literally from all the way over here to shoot down this roadway at you. So just keep that in mind. This map is a lot more open than you think. I know there's a good amount of buildings on the map, but you just have to keep in mind where the angles are. I think that's something important to mention because look how open it is over here. Like, if a heavy pokes this corner over here and you're pushing, man, and you're like maybe sitting here trying to spot people that are up on this ridgeline or whatever, you got to be really careful, man. Because like I said, the way they changed this map, what it used to be was this used to come out like this, and you had bushes. So I'll describe it for you guys a little better. Over here, if you took the enemy ditch line, it used to come out like this, and then there were bushes on the end. So you can actually drive up like this and sit in the bushes at the end, and you'd be unspotted, and you can spot people way in the back here. And it was really a brilliant play that I loved making. But now they have it changed so that there's really no way, once you progress here, there's just nothing you could do, right? You can't really get to these bushes. You'll be spotted by someone sitting in here. And then there's no other way to really advance other than to just push it. That's all you can do. You guys know I always talk about the light tank version of every map of the game and all, but I'll talk to you guys about the heavies since this map, like, I don't have much more to say about it. When you are brawling over here, you have to be very mindful of gun depression. So if you come over here with a heavy, just always have gun depression in mind because of the way the terrain works over here. It's very weird. This is a very good hold down spot if you're in a heavy, as well as over here. And you also have a good angle if you sit in this area from the enemy spawn, right? Or I think we spawned over here, right? So our spawn for this game. And then you can sit right here. This is a pretty decent mound to go hold down or side scrape for people that might be pushing in here. And then you can also do the same like right here. If you're creative enough, you can also kind of try and side scrape right here. These are options, but again, look how open. As soon as you get to here, look at this, man. Like from my angle, from this angle, if you're in the tank, look how many shots people can get. So again, you just have to be very mindful of angles, guys. And when you're trying to push from the north, I usually recommend people try and push like this. I think it's smarter, but it depends on where the enemy is. You can always take this corner right here because it has a little mound. If you're pushing from that spawn over there, you can push into this little mound right here and kind of spot, and you're sort of safe to do that. And then the spot I was telling you guys about is you can sit back here to defend. You can get creative and double bush up right here. This is a good spot to defend. By the way, if you're playing arty, you're going to want to be over here or like over in this area. And then over here, guys, if you are pushing the other spawn or defending the other spawn, this is the area you're likely going to want to sit in. We'll get a little closer. We went all the way to the side of the map. I should have explained this from when we were over here, but this is a good area to do so. You can defend from here and solid bush up if you're taking shots at people that are over here. That's an option. And then if you really want to, you can come all the way back here, but I don't think it's a very good play. There's just not a lot of foliage and concealment. But this is a really good bush line that I like to come to defend, because you can go solid bush. You can sit back like this, you know, pull up, spot, and then sit back and take shots at people that are coming in this way or coming in this way, etc. But that's really it for Berlin, guys. There's nothing more to really talk about. This map is just bad for light tanks. It's so challenging to progressively scout. My biggest recommendations for you are keep in mind the angles. Watch for heavies to be over here when you're over here, and vice versa. Just look for those shots. Try and stay away from the bunker. Yeah, you'll get a lot of angles from inside of it, but people will have a lot of angles on you from outside the bunker. Also, for tank destroyers, you can try and make this position work here, this position work, and this position work over here, but there's no bushes to keep you from being spotted, so keep that in mind. I have seen light tanks try and poke in this area as well, but it just doesn't work, man. I'm telling you guys, there's just no way to really make this map work unless you're in an even 90 and can somehow manage to get like maybe in one of these bushes or something, but even then it's like, what are you going to spot here, you know? So, and one more thing to note, guys, if you're in a fast heavy or a fast tank destroyer or something like that, you can actually try and push both sides of this map. There's little dunes here, whatever you want to call it, mounds. And you can poke right here and get early shots, perhaps on someone that's trying to come to this area, or maybe a light tank or a medium rushing here, or just someone that sticks out a little too far over here, or whatever the case may be. But you would think that you wouldn't get a lot of shots from here, but I'm telling you, I've come here in fast tanks before, and I've gotten shots on people that were just tourists, right, or roaming around the map. It's more common than you think, so try this area out as well at the start of the game. And I think that's it, guys. I'm trying to think about anything more I can tell you guys about Berlin. We can go to the south real quick and just take a look at that. Really, this is just a brawling area of the map. But if you are trying to defend it, there's a couple spots you can defend from. You can sit here and sit in this bush and try to defend. Be very mindful that there is I've said this before, there's actually a window right here where you can shoot. It's like right through this window, I think, and also the side of this wall. You think you don't have the shots, but like, look at that, man. You can shoot someone that's trying to push up into this area, and vice versa, right? If you have this area of the map right here, there's actually a window, like this area, but also this window. I've taken shots through this window before and have been able to hit people in this area. And then you can also defend it from this corner. However, there's no foliage, so keep that in mind. You just have a mound, you have some hard cover, but you can sit right at this mound and try and defend and get a few shots off of people that are coming in from this direction. Over in the other side of the map, it's actually not quite as easy. I feel like the shots, there's not an equivalent spot like there is here, over here, in my opinion, because this is downhill right here. So you have to wait for people to crest this, and then they have this hard cover, and it's a little more tricky from this spot. That's why normally when I'm over here, I'll just retreat back to this area of the map right over here. because there's no reason, in my opinion, to try and hold this once it's lost. You can get creative and try and use this area, but the angle just isn't the same, guys, and you'll hear me talk about these imbalances on the maps. So you can try and sit at this mound, but the angle just isn't quite the same, if you see what I mean, because a lot of people are going to push in like this and stuff, rather than push like that, whereas on this spawn, most people go right up the red line. So just another thing to note, guys, and I think that's about it for Berlin. Nothing more to say about this map. I've given you guys little tips and tricks and areas, but overall, just be very careful on this map. Watch for crossfire, watch for angles, try and stay away from the mid, and you're good to go, guys. That's Berlin. Again, not a very exciting game, but this is all about me making you guys aware of maps, how to play them, strategy on them, etc. So I hope you enjoyed That's Berlin, guys. If you aren't subbed to the channel and you enjoy the content, do sub to the channel. It helps me out. Give a thumbs up. That makes it get recommended to more people. And that's it, guys. I'll catch you for the next one. Take care and bye-bye.